Wow. What a game seven last night between the Blue Jays and the Mariners. We've got the World Series matchup. Blue Jays are moving on. Me and James Bet still alive, plus 5,000, still alive. And I mean, I'm rocking the Blue Jays jersey. I know we just did an entire video about how the Dodgers are not actually ruining baseball, but I think everybody on the planet besides Dodgers fans wants the Blue Jays to win. But it's going to be actually, I think, a better series than people might anticipate. Blue Jays are playing well. They're getting Bo Bichette back. There's a lot of things going in their advantage, considering they also have the home field advantage in this series. We're going to give you a full preview and breakdown of the World Series for the 2025 season, as well as just talk about Game 7 last night. Because
Yeah.
honestly, that was an all-time game. What a phenomenal game.
No, it was. The George Springer home run was like a true goosebumps moment. Like if you love baseball, not even if you just love sports and understand the rules of baseball and you watch that happen, like you grab a loved one, you can feel a chill down your spine because it was really that special of a moment of a play. And something that kind of has gotten underrated in the way people are talking about this game. And again, we're gonna talk more about the Blue Jays, he prays onto them. Just talk about the Mariners for a second. Everyone's kind of focusing on the Andres Munoz not coming in to face George Springer. I think that's very fair, and we will get to that. But Seattle had the real chance to put the nail in the coffin at the top of that inning.
Yeah.
It was they had was that where Gaussman when they had him on the ropes. Yeah, it was Gaussman. You draw three walks in one inning, one of them being intentional, of course, and you at the top of your order. You're not able to even push one run across to make that game feel pretty over. That is gut wrenching when you feel that. Look back on it.
Yeah, Mariners had every opportunity. Even in game six, they had a lot of opportunities and they just kept grounding into double plays. That was the killer for them, it felt like, in these last two games because Gosman got that huge double play. They had all the double plays in game six. They couldn't keep the ball off the ground when they needed to put a ball in the air. Mariners, this was a just rip your heart out series too. Because both
Yeah,
of these sides, like, happy to see them make the World Series again. I always talk about how the Mariners feel like the Mets of the West, where just not a very successful franchise, but diehard fans. And I mean, they were crying every single time they were winning just a game in a series. Feel really bad for the people out in Seattle, but if there was ever a way that I wanted to see this series go in the favor for the Blue Jays, not just because of our bet, but also just good baseball, that was a pretty perfect way to end the ALCS.
yeah, and again, the gut wrenching part of this I think needs to be accentuated because we talked about the Mariners fans crying a lot in the series. Cal Raleigh was sobbing in his post game press conference after the game. There was that video that made its rounds and go
Oh,
viral.
Jesus.
Kieran, if you can pump this one in, I'll send it to you. Where Brian Woo's being interviewed, and all of a sudden you hear a blood curdling scream in the background, clearly from a player on that team. Like this is a series that the Blue Jays won this series. The Blue Jays stormed back furiously. The Blue Jays played great baseball almost after the first two games through and through. But the advantage the Mariners had coming back home up 2-0 and then even getting to this game with a huge lead. You're going to think about this one forever.
Yeah, that one would, as a Mariners fan, cause me to lose some sleep. I would not have been able to sleep last night knowing that they had the lead. They were 9 outs away. And to talk about the elephant in the room, not going to Andres Munoz there was absolutely insane. The fact that he wasn't even ready to go into the game, just an insane oversight. And to make this all about me again as a Mets fan, it really makes me feel better when we see our managers, or even if you're a fan of any team, all these managers seem to never be prepared as well as the people at home. And I don't know if that's a thing because the game's moving so fast and being in the moment, but hindsight's always 2020. I don't know what it is about being in Toronto, but managers are never ready to put their best pitcher in the game in the biggest moments. It's like Buck Showalter 2.0.
Isn't it funny that's in the same building?
Yeah.
And then there was a line that uh, the Mariners manager, Dan Wilson, gave
Dan
to
Wilson, yeah.
Chelsea James of the Washington Post after the game. He said that he went to Bizarro for Springer because Bizarro has been handling those pivot type moments for them all season. That is something that you say after a game in July or
Yes.
August or even September, but you can't be like, yeah, that guy he's our pivot
Yeah,
pitcher
that's
in
that's
game
like
7.
being that's like mentioning like Bizzardo pitched great all postseason. He's been
Yeah,
nails. He was integral in their win over the Tigers. He
game
gave them
5
some huge outs. But at the end of the day,
innings.
you cannot leave Andres Munoz in the bullpen, especially because you knew the top of the order was going to come up. And while they had an opportunity to come up later in the game, you kind of can't worry about it. You got to get those outs in that moment. And to leave Andres Munoz in the bullpen wasn't even ready to come into the game. Again, hate that that's what we're talking about here. It wasn't just one of those like the Blue Jays beat their best pitcher or we didn't have to talk about a narrative thing here, but that does leave a little sour taste in your mouth.
It does. And this also comes back to what we always talk about with managers, where you're kind of only as good as the last couple of games you played.
Yeah.
You're only as good as what the results dictate because everyone's been heaping praise and credit to Dan Wilson. I think Dan
And I
Wilson
think
has done
he
a
is
great job.
yeah, I think he's a great manager, but in this moment he made a horrible decision.
Yeah. And again, I think also just a devil's advocate from his perspective, he's like, that this has been my guy all season for these outs. Like,
Yes.
this was only the seventh inning. If Andres Munoz gets these 3 outs, maybe I can stretch him to six. I don't know how I get those last three. Like, I already have Brian Wu on fumes right now, giving me literally everything he can when his stuff is clearly not even close to the guy he'd been all
Also,
season.
also thought it was crazy to pull Kirby that early. He was pitching completely fine.
I think it was too, but I think that also may have been a situation where you had faith in Brian Wu because of the words that Brian Wu was saying to you. But then
Sure.
when Brian Wu gets on the mound, you see that Brian Wu is not as sharp as he's ever been. Like Brian, the second Brian Wu walked, it was Vlad to start the appearance, or whoever it was in that first inning he pitched.
He walked
Vlad,
Jimenez. He walked Jimenez, I think, immediately.
yeah, that was he struck out Vlad. That was the next
Yeah.
inning. Yeah, walked him immediately, and he got the double play. But you're just like, this isn't it. Like Brian Wu in the whole regular season. Let me count through his game log right now. How many times he walked multiple batters? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good podcasting. 7, 8, 9.
That's a lot.
10, I don't know, 10
We're
times out of how many starts did he make? 25 starts? Like, that's not many. And he
it's
just
like
did it in 2 innings.
40% of the time.
Well, he just did in 2 innings in the shortest appearance of the year.
Yeah,
Still,
I mean, end of the day, that sucked. Blue Jays went out and won this game too, though. Blue Jays
100%.
for sure earned this one. Like, doesn't matter who was pitching on the mound. Blue Jays went out, and that Springer home run was unbelievable. Honestly, even crazy he was playing in this game because he got drilled in the knee, and it looked like he wasn't going to be able to play the rest of the series. So, George Springer, how many big postseason home runs is this guy going to hit? It's crazy.
Shame on some Mariners fans. I won't chastise all Mariners fans for seemingly being happy when Springer got hit by that pitch on the knee. Like, there was kind of like applause gate that happened after that.
Apparently, also though, there were a lot of Blue Jays fans in the ballpark, so it was also a weird like combination of just noise being made in
True.
general. So
But
I
then
don't know how many Mariners fans it truly was.
there was also a reporter from Fox 13, KCPQ Seattle, Aaron Levine, who tweeted immediately after that happened. Well,
Oh yeah,
if you're going to hit anyone with a fastball, and that tweet wound up going viral to getting 2.5 million impressions because it got quote tweeted to hell, and rightfully
as it
so.
should.
Because
You're an idiot for tweeting that.
you're not even an idiot. You're just kind of a jerk. You're a bad dude. Like
Yeah.
to say that something like that. But again,
Like he's
did
not Chase Utley.
no, it did wind up being a little poetic. And again, we're talking about the Dan Wilson, the Kirby to Brian Wu to Bizarro thing that happened. And again, that in a vacuum, that did seem like it was fine. Like Dan Wilson probably thought before the game, I want to go Kirby, Wu, Bizarro, Munoz.
Yeah.
He says if I can do that, I'll probably win this game. And he did do that, and he still didn't win the game. But on the flip side, you had John Schneider being like, yeah, Louis Varlin, fourth inning, get him out. And he still couldn't get him out. And then you had Gossman have nothing and pitch in his inning. And then Chris Bassett hasn't pitched in literal weeks, and he's on the mound. You're like, what the fuck is going on right now? But when it works, you look like a genius. If it doesn't work, you
Yes.
feel like an idiot. And that's kind of
Now,
what this is.
to talk more about the World Series here, Blue Jays are playing with some crazy momentum. And
Yeah.
momentum is important. Dodgers have had some off days. They're going to have 3 more off days at least from whenever this does come out. The next game is on Friday, October 24th. Dodgers, it is super funny. I saw a post where it was like, Blue Jays, like, gotta lock in, big game. This is what's happening. And then Blake Snell's on Instagram posting about he needs a point guard and a center for rec in 2K. So it's
Yeah.
like the polar opposites of what was going on last night is kind of funny. But I do think momentum plays a key in this because the Toronto crowd is insane. Like, that place goes absolutely bonkers. And not that that should have a huge impact per se, but baseball at times is a momentum sport. You can feel
Totally.
it swing in a second. And just having the home field advantage coming off of one of the craziest game sevens we've seen in a while, I feel a little bit better about the Blue Jays going up against the Dodgers than I would have if they, didn't have that crazy game 7.
Isn't it funny they have home field advantage? And
It's so funny.
It's because of regular season record. Like,
Yep.
people are like, why do the Blue Jays have the home field advantage? Like, because they had a better record than the Dodgers in the regular season.
Like,
But there's something cool happening with this Blue Jays team right now where you're getting this crazy pitch in effort from every single guy on the roster.
every
a lot of you
single
guys,
one.
a lot of you guys yelled at us for that in 2 videos ago. And we talked about the ALDS preview, the Blue Jays, the Yankees. And the guy specifically cited the fact that I didn't really trust the bottom of the Blue Jays lineup. And I thought that was a reason I gave the Yankees a slight edge there. Idiot over here. In this series, this is from Foolish Baseball on Twitter last night, the Blue Jays 7 through 9 hitters had a 284, 333, 500 triple slash.
That's crazy.
With 12 runs scored in 7 games. And you compare that to the Mariners, who 7 through 9 hitters, which I'm going to talk about in a second again. Let's just talk one more thing, put one more nail in the Mariners' coffin. 113, 207, 155 with 2 runs scored. And then you look at another pivotal moment in this game, like the dichotomy of 2 bunts, where
Yeah, that was
in this
crazy.
in the second inning, JP Crawford in the 7 hole with 2 guys on to start the inning bunts, and then you have Leo Rivas and Victor Robles. They both make pretty simple outs.
Yeah, because they're not good hitters.
And then oddly enough, right before the Springer home run, very forgotten Andres Jimenez bunted
Yes.
just to set up a home run,
And
which
then
is
also the weird thing too, where Leo Rivas gets that at bat in the ninth and looks to bunt immediately. We're
yeah.
like, what is happening? Like, again, sorry, Mariners fans. How is there not a better player than Leo Rivas that can hit in the ninth inning?
So it's funny too because I wanted to look back and check regular season stuff. Blue Jays bottom of the order because I watched a ton of Blue Jays games. I covered them.
You've been a big Blue Jays guy for a minute.
I told you last July, I was like, these guys are building something here.
You did.
It didn't really have anything to tie
Stumbled
into
into
what
that
happened. Really got lucky and walked into that take because they got a new hitting coach who's a mastermind. But in the regular season, the Blue Jays actually had the 9th best OPS from hitters 7 through 9 of any team in the league at 681, which is still low, but 7 through 9 is pretty good. But funny, that was dead center among playoff teams, 7th of the 12 playoff teams. So the only playoff teams with the worst team OPS 7 through 9 in the regular season were the Tigers, the Mariners, the Dodgers, the Padres, and the Guardians.
Makes sense.
So it's kind of funny when you look at all these things and how they line up, but that is going to be, I think, this entire series because, like we talked about last year's, the Brewers and the Dodgers, this isn't like the Dodgers don't have regular pitching. The
No.
Dodgers have superstar, all-star pitching every single game, almost every single inning of the series. So
And we thought the Mariners had that kind of pitching as well, but we know how crazy their last series was, so they were playing a lot of catch up too with their arms. But the Dodgers are different because Yamamoto is a top 5 pitcher in baseball.
Yeah.
Glasnow, when he's healthy, which he is, the stuff is
Top
top
10.
5 in all of baseball. Stuff wise, you might not call him a top 5 pitcher, but stuff wise, top 5.
I don't know if I'll say he's stuff-wise top 5 anymore.
You don't think so? He still throws like 99, and that the breaking balls move like wiffle balls.
I still think no matter. I mean, now we're just doing the pitching ranking in the middle of the World Series preview.
But,
But no matter
people
what,
like our yap.
no matter what, top 5, you have to go skiing, scuba, crochet. No matter what, top 3.
Yes.
Can't say a word about any of those guys.
True.
And then if Zach Wheeler's
All
healthy,
right,
I think
top
he has
10.
better stuff. Yeah,
Top
top
10,
10.
top
All right,
10.
we're good. Top 10. Top 10.
Blake Snell, unreal.
He might be top 5 stuff.
Unbelievable. Like, this pitching's crazy. But then on the flip side, like, George Springer's so cash money in the postseason. Every single time he's unbelievable. Vladdy is having one of the best postseasons we've ever seen. What a superstar moment for him. Obviously, baseball people knew he's a superstar, but I think now he's getting the national praise that he's deserved as just simply one of the best hitters in all of Major League Baseball. You got your boy fucking Ernie Clement, who can't get out
Animal.
ever. It's crazy how pesky Ernie Clement has been, but that's like a postseason legend type moment. And then even just throughout this roster, like there's still a lot of good hitters on this Blue Jays team. It's not going to be nearly as easy outs as the Dodgers have kind of been facing. Like this Blue Jays lineup is miles better than the Brewers. Miles.
No, light years better than the Brewers.
Yeah.
'Cause also, I mean, you got Nathan Lukes at the top there, just having a pesky at bat after pesky at bat.
Nathan Lucas is like such a like early 2000s two hitter.
Yes.
Where it's just like high average, put the ball in play, annoying, kind of like how you saw like Paul LaDuca hit second for the Mets in
Exactly the same
2006, where it's like he is not the second best hitter on this team. He should not be getting at bats over Vlad, but it's fucking working. So let it go.
Well, this has also been the take forever. I don't know how you brought this here, but if David Wright was hitting second in 2006 instead of Paul LaDuca, we might have done something differently in 2006.
Sure.
So you wonder if this comes down to it. And we almost did have them. Sorry, Mariners fans. This is the last thing I'm going to say is criticize you
James
guys.
is just fucking keep punching them. Just punching them while they're down.
Really
Like,
twisting the
you
knife.
dead yet?
When Jimenez bunts and you have second and third with a base open, you don't think about really pitching around George Springer, who's like been one of the best hitters in the
Nathan
league for a
Lucas.
whole year. Yeah, like you don't even consider the fact that Nathan Lucas is standing right there. You don't. Like I know Bizarro though is I don't know if he's a strike thrower because there's a lot of sinkers and sliders, but I'm sure he didn't want that pitch to wind up where it was, just running back inside to George Springer. But like I really would have thought long and hard about not giving him anything close to hit. Like give him 4 sliders, hope he swings with 1, then you attack the rest of the at bat.
Yeah.
But yeah, then you gotta give credit to Alejandro Kirk, Dalton Varsho, because they've been real pieces in the middle of this lineup. And the Blue Jays are going to have a really serious, not decision, but there's going to be a decision inside the decision because now all the signs are pointing to Bo Bichette being healthy and returning for the World Series. He said it himself, so we're assuming that he will be activated. What do you do with this lineup, this defensive alignment? Because right now, the way the Blue Jays are aligned defensively, it's tremendous defensive team.
Yes.
In fact, you can have Ernie Clement playing third, Addison Barger with his cannon of an arm in right field, and then Keener Falefa and Jimenez at the middle infield. 2 guys who can't hit a lick, but two guys who are playing outrageous defense. And IKF had the little like D Wade LeBron celebration, a double play
Yeah.
a couple days ago. But do you put Bichette back at short? I say probably not. Do you put him
I
at
would
second,
if he
third?
I don't know if you can bring a guy who's been playing shortstop all season and be like, go play second. Like that's something that might be tough, especially because I don't know how much second base Bo Bichette's played. And he's not good defensively at shortstop. If he's not played a lot of second base, it is a different way to turn double plays. The ball comes off the bat differently. Like it is a completely different position. Might not be the best idea. But that being said, while Jimenez can't hit a lick, he is playing good defensive shortstop. And
Great.
against the Dodgers, you cannot afford to give them one extra out in this series. If the Blue Jays want any chance of winning this series, there cannot be any extra outs given to this Dodgers lineup. I think Bo needs to be playing. It's going to be interesting to see how they fit him in. Like I think the obvious is you put Bo at short and you put Jimenez at second because as good as the defense is that IKF is playing, probably still need to score few more runs than the Dodgers. So Bo Bichette helps you there.
I was saying Bo Bichette has to be playing.
Has to be playing.
That's not the question. You need every single
You
guy
got,
you can possibly have.
I guess, like maybe Barger doesn't. Can Springer run? It can even move
I
well
think
enough.
probably after this week, because now I think the blessing is that they're going to have 3 complete days off.
Because like
That's a big deal.
when Snell's on the mound, Barger doesn't play. I think that's
No.
pretty obvious. Or Lucas doesn't play. Maybe one of
Do you,
those
do
two.
you even want Jimenez to play against Blake
That's
Snell?
another good question. Yeah, do you
Like
want
he's
Jimenez?
not even gonna get close to getting. I mean, he also has hit relatively well in this.
Because I'm like,
postseason.
can you DH Bichette? How can we get him in the DH spot maybe? Because defensively, I know people are gonna be like DRS. OAA hates Bo Bichette. He's one of the worst defensive guys, and truthfully, I'm an OAA defensive stat guy. When that's like a all stats and numbers and science and baseball savant stuff, I'm trusting that one over DRS right now.
Also say this: if you're an eye test guy and you watch Bo Bichette play short,
Looks horrible.
He's not a very good shortstop
No.
at all. So I think
He
I
makes
think
all
it's a
the
known
plays he
thing.
should. Can't make any of the difficult ones.
The last time he played a position that was not shortstop was one game at second base in 2019 in AAA.
Probably not going to do it then.
But that was the other position he has played, not third, but second. So I think if there was another spot, that's the spot technically. But
Because like Bo in this lineup, you'd hit him second, surely, right?
I mean, I would. I mean, maybe, but there's also something going on here. We kept talking about momentum. This is a group that has now really climbed the mountain together. Especially they
Yes.
lost the first 2 games of the series. They just
That's
went
crazy.
They just went 4-1 to close the series without the home field advantage, which is
Yeah.
very relevant. But you do put him 2, or you put Kirk 2, and then you put Bichette 4. Like you could really make the top of your lineup a lot more potent. You can avoid these issues where you might have some pitch around a guy like Springer or Vlad if you just kind of align this better. But you're going to have to find defensive homes for all of these other guys that kind of move around. Like basically the whole bottom of the order who de facto kind of won this series.
100%. Yeah. I mean, IKF, I think, comes in late in the game. If you need a defensive guy for the last 2 innings, you know Bo's not coming to the plate. I think that's pretty much the way to go because, again, this Dodgers lineup, while still isn't really clicking, at any moment when they do decide to click, it's going to be pretty tough to get them out because Otani and Mookie and Freeman and Will Smith and just the list goes on and on of this team. Teoscar, Tommy Edman only shows up in the postseason. Pages has been horrible, but maybe he gets hot too. Like this Dodgers team is still obviously on paper better, but Blue Jays can give them a run for their money, I think.
So here's a Sarah Langs also the other day. So I think this is going to be the 5th time in the history of baseball where one championship series went 7 games, the other one was a sweep. Every single other time, the 7-game team won.
Interesting.
So there's a lot. I mean, again, small sample size, but there's a good bit of baseball history, and I do wonder if this might actually work against the Blue Jays, to where this Dodgers team has not been in sync at all at the plate yet. So maybe a couple days off, just Blake Snell, everyone get their time in on rec, new Call of Duty beta coming out. Maybe there's something there. I'm not like. I think the Dodgers are going to win. The Dodgers should be heavily favored. We shouldn't count the Blue Jays out. I think that there's the Blue Jays do have like a full-on team of destiny vibe happening right now. Like there's something special in the air over there in Toronto. Also kind of funny. I mean, it's very old news now, like the Drake Kendrick beef. One more round.
Yeah, run it back.
one more shot here.
The worst thing that could happen is if Drake throws on a Blue Jays jersey. They got to keep him far away from the Rogers Center.
I mean, Vlad put on Austin Matthews jersey. I give him
Which
credit
was
for even winning.
Crazy because I think the Leafs have lost
that.
like 7 straight Game 7s or something like that.
Well, Toronto fans are going to be jumping down throats for this, but I don't think the Leafs have even advanced in the postseason for like decades.
It's crazy. I mean, not hockey guys, not hockey guys.
A little bit of hockey, but not so much. It's
playoff hockey.
Yes. we've been saying the guy versus guy every single series, and that's kind of why the Dodgers always stack up. The Blue Jays are the best match for guy versus guy that we've had yet.
Yes, without a doubt. Yeah.
Kind of. The Mariners actually might have been, but I think that there's also going to be a funny thing happening here where the Blue Jays are a very predominantly right-handed pitching team,
Yeah.
and the Dodgers, the top of their order, is very much left-handed heavy. I think there's going to be a lot of scared straight moments for Mason Fluharty in the series.
Mason
where
Fluharty and
get in the game. Otani's coming up.
who's their other lefty? Don't they have one more? Why
Yeah,
am I?
I'm pulling it up right now. I'm blanking on the other lefty.
I can't think of what his name
It's
is.
Brendan. One
No,
of
he's a
those guys.
righty. Fisher.
One of them is lefty.
Little.
Brendan Little.
Yeah,
Little. Yeah. And Lauer probably is going to be on the roster. There might be
Lauer's going to be scared straight a couple
yeah,
times.
that's going to be the one.
Yeah.
But like, do you get creative because you have a full right-handed pitching starting rotation where you let Fluharty just pitch the first inning a couple of games?
You might, though. Also, the one huge advantage too is that because they have Gosman and Savage with the splitter, that is like a platoon neutralizer. Where
Very much so.
That's just such a nasty pitch to left-handed batters. Also, Trey Savage hasn't faced the Dodgers lineup, and Shohei Ohtani and Frey. Like it's exhausting. It's got to be so tiring. Mentally to have to be on such a different level of locked in to face the top of this Dodgers order.
I got some crazy Savage stats here. So he is the youngest starting pitcher with multiple wins in a single postseason since Noah Syndergaard. I thought he kind of low-key deserved to be I'm sorry for that. I thought he low-key deserved to be the ALCS MVP, honestly.
Who got
Vlad?
it? I didn't even see who got Vlad. Vlad deserved it. Vlad deserved it.
I thought Springer and Savage both had. I think Vlad for the postseason. If you're saying this is like the MVP for the American League postseason, should definitely be Vlad. But in the series, Vlad was really good, but I don't think he was the most valuable. Again,
you don't think so?
Who cares?
Yeah, whatever.
Savage is also the youngest pitcher to start and win multiple postseason games since Madison Bumgarner.
That's a good one.
In 2010.
Dude,
it's just
Vlad had a 1330 OPS.
That's pretty good. You're right. Also, Savage didn't even reach Double A until June 12th.
Yeah.
He didn't reach Double A until June fucking 12th. He wasn't even a top 100 prospect until July.
Which was also bad on those people because he was a first round pick.
Yeah.
And like they gas up such random first round picks where you're like, that one doesn't make sense. Why would you not take the guy who throws 98 with a devastating splitter?
He was number one starting pitching prospect on both of our lists that happened a month and a half ago.
Shout out to us. That list looks fucking awesome right now.
Also, Game 6 was only the sixth Major League start Savage has made.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And he was disgusting. With 13 swings and misses, whatever it was.
He's only pitched at home too, right? In
yes.
the playoffs?
In the playoffs, yes.
Yes.
I don't recall the regular season. No, because the regular season, his first start was in Tampa.
Yeah.
So in the playoffs, he was only pitched at home.
And I think they might want to keep it that way too, it seems like, based on how they were talking about him in that Yankee series.
Especially if you can with the timing, because he pitched on Sunday, so he can pitch this coming weekend for sure. You have Gosman for game one, probably even after through the one inning.
Maybe they said
that
game one. What's up?
Does Savage go game one?
I think it's still going to be Gosman because they were talking about how yesterday was Gosman's throw day anyway.
Okay.
So like he's just treating it like it's his throw day and kind of like
fair.
A little more jacked up, obviously, but
yeah,
in terms of schedule wise.
So, wow, that's interesting. So then you're also going to have a great moment where you're going to have Scherzer on the mound in LA. And we threw a lot of dirt on Scherzer's name before this series. And Max Scherzer kind of got one of the biggest outs the Blue Jays got in this series.
Sure, yeah.
Like again, it wasn't pretty, but I don't think you need pretty at this point in the season. Like Scherzer getting those outs and being that guy was huge. But so they're going to line it up again to have Scherzer and Bieber just probably get pelted on the road in LA. That's probably what's going to lie. Bieber again.
Bassett might get a look too, I think. He looked good in his
He should get a look. I wonder if you probably pick one of those guys and say you're the bullpen weapon then?
I will say Bassett throwing 95 out of the bullpen was pretty cool. Like the stuff was moving a lot in that appearance. So maybe they saw that and they're like, could be our weapon. Like could kind of be like our Patrick Corbin-ish out of the bullpen.
Can I mention one more Mariners thing?
Why?
I forgot.
Why are you doing this to them?
I was looking at my notes and I forgot this play happened.
All right, go.
What'd you think about the nailer hit the headbutt?
Oh, when he jumped up?
Yeah.
That was awesome. That's good baseball right there.
Little Bush League.
Oh, major Bush League. Major Bush League. But you got to take the chance. Like, it was a guaranteed double play.
For sure.
So might as well see if you can sneak one by.
Yeah, I thought that was funny as hell.
Bush League, not trying to hurt anybody, though. That's a big one.
Sure. His former teammate Shane Bieber going, what the fuck are you doing? Which I think everyone who played with Naylor knows that he's that kind of guy.
He's a little shit stirrer.
Yeah.
Also, Toronto guy.
Yeah, he's a Toronto guy. The Blue Jays have to get one of these starting pitchers out of the game early. They have to. That's
Yeah.
imperative. You have to find a way to get big innings against this Dodgers bullpen. That's the chink in their armor. You have to get to Emma Sheen in the third, try and get him out by the fifth, and then give yourself 4 innings to try and wail on some of these guys.
Yeah, if you see, like, I'm trying to think, what's the win condition? Is it just knocking out these pitchers by the fifth? Like, not even trying to get crazy, but
Yeah.
like, if you can get a pitcher out by the fifth, I love a live bet for the Blue Jays. If you can get a pitcher out by the fifth,
It's also just seeing that version of pitching Otani, not even talking about what he did with the
it's
bat on Friday.
crazy. It's so good.
I think a lot of us forget how good he was as a pitcher because of how good he's been as a hitter since that happened. But those last 3 years with the Angels, it was like 430 innings pitched at like a 2.60 ERA
Yeah, it was
with like
disgusting.
a 30% strikeout rate. Like he truly was a top like 7-8 pitcher in the whole league. And now seeing that again, seeing him have new pitches that he's pulled out of fucking nowhere, seeing the sweeper and the cutter and the splitter and like dropping the curveballs, he's outrageous. He threw a pitch 100 miles an hour. He didn't give up a batted ball that was harder than any of the batted balls that he put in play in that game when he
Yeah.
had 1,400 feet of home runs. It was just, God, that's gonna be good cinema.
If you're the Blue Jays, you're dying to see Ben Kasparius get into a game. Like you,
But he's mop up guy. By the
I
time Genka Pisparis gets in the game, the Blue Jays will have already won that game.
I guess. I don't. The problem is the Dodgers have like no right-handed relievers. They are
Yeah, all
stacked
lefties.
with lefties, and that is
Weirdly.
bad to face against the Blue Jays because the Blue Jays are all the guys that do the damage are right-handed hitters.
There's also going to be an
And
element
Varsho's lefty,
of
but-
yeah. I mean, I think we're going to see Edgardo Henriquez probably activated. We assumed that last series, but
Gotta.
it didn't happen. But I still think that just with how many right-handed hitters is going to be, you have to do that. There's going to be a Roki moment too, where
Yes,
we saw more chinks in Roki's armor against the Brewers than we did against the Phillies, where
it was kind of the NCAA
came
meme
back.
where
Yeah.
it was like the crowd
Pulse.
meter. It's like, oh, there's a lot going on here.
And I think that Blue Jays fans have some really good, like, I don't know what the exact words used for this is. Not Stockholm Syndrome, but some undue hate for Roki Sasaki. It's probably not deserved, but I think because they were like one of the final teams considered, they consider him.
Him and
like,
Otani,
Yeah, man, Otani. Otani was like, whatever. I think everyone
every
knew the whole
free
time.
agent the last couple of years.
Yeah, basically every single one. I mean, like I said, locked up Vlad. Give him credit for that, but you could probably get in Roki's head.
Oh,
This series flips with a blown save by Roki Sasaki.
they 1,000,000% can get in Roki's head. The Blue Jays fans are insane. They're nuts.
They really are.
They are an insane fan base. Tip your cap. Respect
No,
it.
I love the Blue Jays fans. Very, very happy that now we're getting some of them onto this channel. But that is the trump card.
Yes.
It's going to be Trinan, Sasaki, keep a game close enough to make one of those guys blow it, shatter the confidence of the only two true high leverage right-handed relievers in this game.
Yeah, because Trinan's pitched like shit.
Trinan sucks. Yeah, he's
So
done.
that's the one where, remember when people were getting mad because I didn't put Blake Trinan in my top 30 relievers? You're like, yeah, because
I didn't remember.
this guy stinks. Well, because you were telling me like you can't put him there. He's ass. He's
Yeah,
dead.
as your pitching ranking consultant, I was like, you can't do this.
Yeah.
But then also, this is why I love Sheehan though, because Sheehan is the difference maker for them. Because if one of these guys does get knocked out 5, if Glass now has some command issues, if Blake Snell stays up till 5 o'clock in the morning playing 2K, and then Sheehan can throw 40 really good pitches and bridge it back to Sasaki, he saves the day. But then there's exactly the same diatribe I gave for the Brewers. Brewers lineup was fucking dog shit.
Yeah.
If you could just get to these guys a little bit, knock them off a little bit, because there also hasn't been much adversity for this Dodgers team.
It's been easy.
They really, I mean, the Philly series was pretty tooth and nail.
But it was
like,
more so because the Dodgers didn't hit a lick. That's why that
well, 'cause-
series was
and
close.
Because the Phillies starting pitching is very good. Like,
Yes.
The Phillies did pitch really well in that series. Got to give credit where it's due there. But like this Brewers series was a fucking joke.
Yeah.
Last year, the World Series, after game 1, they lost.
Joke, yeah.
Even for us as Mets fans, like we know that the Dodgers were chilling pretty much that whole series, even though it went 6 games. It was really just that Padres series last year, the last time the Dodgers felt real. And the Dodgers players talked openly about that they felt like that was
their
their World Series. And they acted like it afterward. They were just so good that they coasted against the Mets and Yankees. And then they just bullied the Brewers. You got to make these guys sweat. Having home field advantage is a big deal for the Blue Jays.
Win game 1 for the Blue Jays. It's on.
God, it'd be so much fun.
Would be sick.
I want them to win badly. Again, I want them to win badly for financial reasons for us.
Of course,
itself.
yeah. I'd love
but
to
like
pocket 500.
I want a great series here, and I think that if there's any chance, maybe the Blue Jays can. But if we're gonna give predictions now, I still think the Dodgers are going to win
I think the Dodgers are going to win too. Let's go Toronto Blue Jays.
for sure.
I'm going to be rooting for you guys. I am not rooting for the Dodgers. Not for a second.
We also both backdoored the Blue Jays winning this series. I said 6, you said 7, which is
Yeah,
pretty cool by us. So we both nailed both of our championship series picks. But I'd still say Dodgers and I don't know 5 or 6 for the series. I'd be
I'm
surprised
gonna go
otherwise.
Dodgers in 6.
Yeah,
I do think the Blue Jays are gonna take one at home. I think they're gonna win one of these first 2 games. If they win game 1, I feel really good about 6. If they win game 2, I think your 5 is gonna be right.
just give them a good punch,
Give
Blue
them a
Jays
good
fans.
punch. Give us a
Up to you
fight, and let's
guys.
go Blue Jays.
Scare
Bring
them.
it back to the North.
You're right there. Bring back to the North. Mark that the jersey on.
Let's go Blue Jays. That's it, guys. Thank you for watching. Appreciate the amazing support. You guys have been. It's been crazy, honestly. Like,
It's awesome.
really, really pumped with how well the channel is doing. It's a big shout out to you guys watching. Make sure you are subscribed to the Windup. Really do appreciate it. Make sure you're following James at,
James Shiano.
and I'm Draft Nick Mark with a C. We will catch you guys all later this week for some more content. We got a lot of stuff coming at you, so make sure you don't miss it. We'll catch you then. Peace out.